And we are in game number 1, everyone. Welcome. Capoch playing with the Tatars. Ganji playing with Gujaras. We'll open the series up. Kilimanjaro. There is a little bit of a stutter over here, though. Yeah, probably related to OBS. Give me a second. See if I can fix this. If you're watching this on YouTube, we have talked about the standings at the end of the previous series. I should correct myself. I did say that there wasn't a way for Cito to actually come out on top of Vilese because of the current standings, but it turns out that actually Cito does end up taking Vilese down and does end up taking the third spot rather, because it's about games won, no, not about series points, right? So because he won 2 games, he was able to equalize Vilese and he won the head-to-head, so he took Vilese down. Anyway, taking a look at Capoch's civilization first, the Tatars are going to provide them with free thumbring, free parting tactics. Besides that, we also see for Capoch with Tatars 25% higher attack against enemy units when fighting from a higher elevation. We're going to see for the Tatars 50% extra food from herdables, in addition to 2 additional herdables, 2 additional sheep spawning underneath the TC. For each newly built TC start under the castle age, and finally for the team bonus, the Tatars will get 2 extra line of sight on cavalry archers. Meanwhile, Ganji, well, playing with the Gujaras, we'll give him first off. And let me try and fix the lag. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, it seems to help right now. Yeah, we'll see for Ganji civilization 2 berry bushes additionally spawning underneath the TC. He's got the ability to garrison herdables inside the mills. He's already going to end up collecting all 8. And then he's got 20, 30, 40% higher bonus damage from mounted units, while for the team bonus, it's going to have 25% faster train camel and elephant type units. We're going to enable the predictions for game number 1. In just a moment. Okay, it seems like performance has gone back to normal. Sorry about the issue. But who wins game number 1 then? Option 1's gonna be Capoch this time around. We're gonna have him in the blue. And option 2 is gonna be Ganji. Next 5 minutes, you can use your channel points and predict on who you think is going to win game number 1. Already though, Capoch taking advantage of the fishing. Beautiful. A lot of extra food over here for the bull player, and that's certainly going to compensate for the incredible garrisoning bonus from the Gujaras, right? Should be the case. And most likely will. So yeah. Moving on to map generation then, Capoch. The bull player is going to get the main goal in front of the TC. Scout the secondary goal on the right hand side, very far away. We have the main stone, the secondary stone on the right hand side over here and forward as well for Capoch. While for the walls, you could see some walls like this. Coming up like this. Right, and this way he would be able to secure the wood lines. He would be able to secure the water over here, potentially fishing, if he's going to take advantage of fishing just as much as he's been able to over here. But no gold, so... Oh, yeah, this gold. I was blind for a moment over there, the gold on the stone. Yeah, so that'd be good. It'd be kind of pricey, though. If we take a look at the map generation for Ganji, on the other hand, we're gonna have for the red player the main goal on the back, which is fantastic. Secondary goal is going to be on the left-hand side towards the north, and then the main stone is toward the northwest, secondary stone on the right-hand side. Should be pretty easy for him to wall himself up as well. Just connecting the dots from here to here, here to here. Should be able to secure the wool lines. The ponds as well could potentially take advantage of this. The gold, the stone, the berries, this woolen as well. And I think I'm liking Ganji's map generation better. Mainly because it is kind of closer to the corner of the map and seems like it's going to be easier for him to wall himself up. He would be left on a bunch of resources inside the walls because of that. It's going to be a good series. I'm certainly hoping so. You know, Ganji has, as I like to say, been turning heads as a fairly recently, right? And obviously, Red Bull comes to mind. But Capoch is a very capable player himself, and we'll see who comes out on top over here. For the time being, Capoch is going to be the first one to put some pressure. He's coming in with Minotaurs. He's got into the FLH already, and Ganji's in the FLH himself. He's got scouts coming out. Oh, and Ganji's going forward already. He's got the scout, the camel scout, forward, and then he's got extra scouts coming out. Going forward as well, so it seems like he's going to kind of ignore this push from Capoch. This could be really good, guys. These are Minotaurs, not militias. So they can get villagers down, and that's a beautiful, beautiful bit of unit control from Capoch over here, just stepping on the foundations of the house. And now that's a villager that's going to be left outside, out in the open, so we're going to see the villager going down. Not quite. He was trying to body block the villager, but it was not enough. And now he's going to try, and that is so close. He couldn't do it though, but the Minotaurs are coming in. And this is a big engagement taking place right now. For this stage of the game, that's already huge, and that's 2 villagers going down. 1 Minotaur scrambles, 2 Minotaur scramble, but 2 villagers have gone down. I would say that's 100% worth it for Capoch already. It's got only 4 seconds of extra idle TC time compared to Ganji. So he is in a beautiful spot. Yeah. Can't get any damage done anymore, of course, but that was already 100% worth it. Back home, let's get the archer range already up. Blacksmith's coming up, and let's get the archers on the way already. Well, Ganji's still going to be on scouts for the most part, right? So he's going forward. Capoch needs to go for spearmen, and he has gone for a few spearmen over here, very, very intelligently. So it should be in a position already to start putting extra pressure. Is that Walden villager from Ganji walled in? Over here, if this villager on the right hand side, it might have been the case. Sometimes the players do that. I believe. You gotta believe, you voted on Ganji here. Now, I'm actually not really sure what the predictions were looking like. Were they even at all, somewhat close? Or nah? Fletching on the way now for Capoch. Is unable to really get much of anything done anymore. But the damage he was able to get done up until this point already, it's probably going to suffice. It's probably going to be good enough. Is this open, by the way? I think this might be open. Do we have... Dude! I think this is open. Oh my god, it's open! And here comes Capoch! Well, up in the north, the quick walls coming in from... Capoch are not going to connect though, so... The scouts are coming in right now as well. And here come Capoch's units, and this map is not going to be the easiest one to wall, so you cannot really give Ganji too much crap over that, right? But yeah, Capoch is also going to find himself kind of exposed. However, with the quick walls that Capoch was going for over here, he does end up securing his economy, and Ganji, on the other hand, is also going to secure his economy, going for a few extra quick walls up over here. Ganji, interestingly enough, did end up getting a stronger economy, and he will be on his way to the castle edge earlier compared to Capoch. Go figure. So there was potential for damage over here, but in the end, none of the players were able to capitalize on that too much. Over forage? Doesn't seem to be the case, no. That one is pretty much full. Yeah, that is close. Oh, okay, here comes Capoch though. He was able to breach through the foundations, alright. Ganji should be on his way to the castle age, and he is. Market's coming up now for him as well, and Capoch. Playing with the Tatars is not really getting any eco bonuses besides just the extra food that he got from the sheep earlier anymore, so he's taking a little bit longer to go out to the field age, but he will be on his way very soon as well. As a matter of fact, he's getting a castle up, and if he sells some of the wood over here, he should be on his way. Yeah. Impressed to consider that he got damaged quite a lot. Yeah, and being forced into the farms obviously is going to come at a price in the future when he's got to replenish these. Right now, he doesn't have Horse Scholar, right? And Capoch is going for the farms himself as well. It does not have Horse Scholar. However, I think these came up a little bit later because he was able to collect food from the fish and extra food from the sheep as well. So there's that. But in any case, both these players are on the way to the third age in Ganji. He's going to have a head start of over a minute over Capoch. What is the plan for the castle age? Well, we have a single stable over here for Ganji, so he does not seem to be thinking necessarily of going for... Oh, actually, we do have two stables. Okay, so he is thinking of going for the Shrivamsha production. Meanwhile, Capoch, on the other hand, he does have a stable on the way over here, but he's got two archer ranges, so this stable might be just for bloodlines, and he might be thinking about going for CA. But for that, of course, is that Shrivamshas are still going to be pretty good against any range units. And Capoch is going to be kind of ineffective for a very long time, right? It's going to take a while for him to get enough cavalry archers that he'll actually be able to go out and do much of anything with those. Yeah, I heard the walls also work, of course, in addition to the farms, so it's good. So the units get cleaned up from Capoch while we track the units from Ganji. Let me get myself some tea. Best sound, hopefully. This doesn't annoy anyone because I know that some people like to relate this sound to something else, not tea pouring or coffee pouring or whatever. But yeah, I know some of you like it. Now want tea? Go make some, man. Yeah, it's gonna be good for you. You mean mac and cheese? Yeah, that's what the mac and cheese sounds like here in Argentina. You just blend it and drink it as a smoothie. Bunch of crosses from Capoch. Bunch of Sri Lanka riders from Ganji, but he's not paying attention. There we are. Yes. For archer range, for siege workshop. What am I talking about? Archer range. For siege workshop. Coming in for Capoch and Ganji. Ganji's starting to fall behind by a lot more than what the villager KD over here would have you believe. And Ganji's having the TC idle for such a long time. What is going on with Ganji? He's not giving villagers at all. He's got population space. He's got the resource. He had the resource anyway. He's not going for any villagers. What is the plan over here? just double stable Srivansh, right? That's not going to work. Capoch is going for knights right now as well, so it's gonna have a meat shield for the crosses to work out of. Alright, there we go. We'll see the engagement come up as the conversions and the Srivanshas are trying to take the crosses over there. We're gonna see the conversions come up against the knights. And the crosses are getting to the choke point. And that is the way you do it. This is going to maximize the value of the crosses, but they will end up getting cleaned up in the end anyway. Well done. Well done. Ganji is getting a very good trade over there. You can see that the KD is going very much in favor of the red player. Now, what is the problem though? He is still behind by 8 workers. And Capoch is playing Tatars over here. He's got the units he needs against Gujaras. He can go for knights. He's got a stronger economy already to produce knights with. Alternatively, he can go for camels, right? However, his decision is going to be to go for a second TC and try to pull ahead in economy. This is not a bad thing, and I think this is coming from Capoch's trade over here. And the fact that he realizes the amount of resources Ganji has spent into the Srivansh riders compared to the amount of resources Capoch has spent into archers probably means that Ganji has been sticking to 1 TC only, right? So Capoch is going to try to get ahead right now. How good are Srivansha raiders are killing villagers? They're pretty decent. I think they take them down with like 6 hits or so, but you don't need too many. If you raid in pairs, like they're very good. All right, 30C on the way for Capoch. I would say so, Luca. Yes. There we go. Capoch does still have an army that's going to be strong enough to defend himself. Oh, but it's open though! The villager opened the gate and let the Srivansha in. That villager deserved to die, but not the other ones. My lord, the Srivanshas are coming in, and you were asking how good are these at raiding around. Well, you tell me. How many villages have gone down right now for Capoch? 9 villages, 10 villages down in the span of 30 seconds or so, and Ganji all of a sudden has put himself within arm's reach of Capoch's villager count over here. Only 8 extra villagers for Capoch, 5 extra villagers for Capoch. My lord, 4, 3 extra villagers, 2 extra villagers for Capoch, and all of a sudden the lead is completely gone. And all because of the one villager who let the gate open and allowed Ganji's units to come in. And right now we have actually more villagers for Ganji. That was incredible! That was incredible! The Dutch arrows from the TC2, hard to deal without units? Yeah. Obviously that's not going to be forever, right? The agility is only going to get you so far, but... Oh! Check this out! He took the sheep down under the TC. Savage. Denying the bonus from the Tatars right there. And Capoch was otherwise going to be in a much better position already. He had a good amount of knights, he was going for camels, right? Good amount of crossbows. He would easily have been able to take on all the Srivanshas if like a straight on engagement would have taken place, but instead Ganji was able to get so much damage done. And now the nice mango shot right there. There we are. $23 KD, I'd say it was solid damage. I would say so as well. Hear me out, flaming camels. Oh, we need quite a setup for that though. We need to get to the Imperial Age. We need a castle, and we need Timorid Siegecraft. There we go. Castle's on the way for Capoch. A lot of Shroud Riders coming in for Ganji over here. He's got the Mammoth. It's got a lot of monks over there as well, trying to target the camels. The villagers cannot get the castle up. And this game, this is like a textbook example of the volatility of the games, right? And just how one villager letting the units in by accidentally opening the gate is going to completely change the course of the game. One little thing in the game can have such a large impact. Sometimes it's going to be the villager not getting the palisade up on time, the palisade foundation up on time. Sometimes it's going to be the villager actually letting the units in. Sometimes it's going to be, you know, a poor mango shot or poor macro that's going to allow your opponent to get a bunch of units down or whatever. And everything can just turn the split of an eye, and the split of a second, sorry, in the blink of an eye. And I don't know what a split of an eye would be, but yeah, it can also change during that. In Capoch, might be able to get the castle up, not gonna lie, but what is it going to do? Military count? Worker count right now? Everything favors Ganji so much. Yeah, and honestly, it's not even possible for Capoch to get the castle out because the villagers are getting targeted still. And the conversions are still coming in. And Ganji's on point. He's looking very good right now, yes. We were talking about the chances of Capoch potentially taking this series. And now I'm kind of having the second guess myself here. My prediction would have been Capoch 2, Ganji 1, maybe Capoch 3, Ganji nil. But yeah, I don't know if it's the fact that maybe Capoch does not have as much intimidation factor, the Ganji maybe feels like he can play his game a little bit better or not. Maybe it's something else, maybe it's just the fact that Capoch is maybe not quite as dominating as the players Ganji played against beforehand. But yeah, game number 1 will go in favor of the Swedish players. So let's take a look at the achievements. And that was Dal Castle for sure. We get a very close 7-to-4 kill ratio for Ganji, for economy, a stronger economy for Capoch. Still managing to collect about 900 extra resources at the end of the game, despite the fact that he took so much damage. But you take a look at the society stats over here. And this is the point. The villager from Capoch let the gates open. As a matter of fact, I think it might have been about here, right? Capoch, probably about here or so. Let's actually go back a little bit and try to relieve that. What happened? What exactly happened? What tells the story of how the villager let the Shivansis in? Actually, I think it was a crossbow, wasn't it? No? No? It was the villager! It was the villager! Yes! It deserved to die. Quite honestly. This was the beginning of the end for Capoch. Yeah, alright. So let's go back and cross the saves out, the map out, and see what we get for game number 2. So for game number 2, Capoch, left hand side, up in the north, playing Byzantines. Ganji towards the southeast, playing with Lithuanians. Just going to play the predictions from the previous game and enable predictions for game number 2. And I think a lot of people are going to start showing more respect for Ganji around here in terms of who you're going to predict for, right? But yeah, you gotta keep in mind so many things. Capoch, definitely in a good day, is going to have 100% the ability to take on a player like Ganji. Ganji, on the other hand, on a good day, can definitely take on a player like Capoch as well. So we saw already Ganji clutch it up in game number 2, or game number 1, so we'll see if in game number 2 he'll be able to do so as well. Let's talk about the civilization, starting with Capoch's civilization first. The Byzantines will provide the Argentinian with 10, 20, 30, and 40% higher HP on buildings in the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages. Besides that, they get a 25% discount on Skirm, Spear, and Camel Rider units, as well as a 33% discount to go up to the Imperial Age. Byzantines will also have free Town Watch, free Town Patrol, in addition to for the other bonus. For them, it's going to be 25% faster attacking fire line units. Well, for the team bonus, they get also monks who can heal units 100% faster. Civilization advantage, Ganji, right? It really depends, because in later stages of the game, Ganji's trash is going to be better. Like, no questions about it. He goes for tower shields, and his skirmishers and his halberd are going to be so good. Neither player gets blast furnace, so of course the extra armor for Lithuanians will make their trash units their trash units better. But the Byzantines, if they do end up getting water control, for instance, that might give them the eco edge that they will need to suppress the Lithuanians. So we'll see. Each civilization is going to have their own strengths, right? So Ganji's civilization, on the other hand, he's going to begin with 150 extra food, which allows him to prioritize the water play, since much earlier he's gotten the dock up over here before Capoch has even tried to place a foundation. Besides the extra food, the Lithuanians will get 10% fast moving skirmishers and 10% fast moving spearline units. They get 1 extra attack on knights and light ship per each relic garrison, up to 4 relics, up to +4 attack. For the team bonus, finally Lithuanians will get 20% faster work in monasteries. And yeah, if you're able to exploit or take advantage of the Lithuanians' bonuses over here as Ganji, you should find yourself in a good spot. Knights with extra attack from the relics will take down the camels from the Byzantines, like easily. Easily, not even close. Even if you end up getting just 2 relics, and we have 5 relics around the map, right? If Ganji ended up getting 2 relics alone, that would make his knights so damn difficult to stop in the castle age, something that he does end up going for. At the very least, forging, ideally even iron casting as well, so you can go up to +4. Even for as cheap as the camels are from the Byzantines, the lack of bloodlines is going to hurt. The extra attack from the Lithuanians is going to hurt, and like, it's going to be all very situational. As I always say, it's going to be more so about the players, in my opinion, than about the civilizations necessarily. So on paper, I agree with you. In practice, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the gold options are pretty good for the Lithuanians. In Lychai are absolutely ridiculous. Anyway. Oh, nice snipe over here. Whatever happened to Ganji? He would just went in a straight line. I think it was kind of stuck between the scout and this bush. The bush C. Right? Let's take a look at this once again. Yeah, he actually couldn't move. Wow, that was really good for Capoch, but it was completely accidental. He was just pushing the deer, and that prevented the scout from moving over to the left-hand side, and the bush prevented the scout from, like, he was pretty much trapped. Huh, interesting. I don't think I've seen that one before. What are the stone piles for Ganji? We'll take a look at the map generation now. Sorry. But we are going to start with Capoch. Ganji's moving on to the Fuel Age. We'll see for both players what the map generation is looking like. Nobody's going to go for a Drush or anything, so it's fine. Capoch is sending a villager, though, to get a sneaky duck up. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. Regardless, though, we see the main goal forward for Capoch. Secondary goal is going to be towards the southwest. Secondary goal, the other secondary goal is going to be towards the northeast, very far away. All these resources are very exposed. The main stone, the secondary stones, all of these are going to be for a resource for Capoch, and it's going to be very difficult for him to protect this. He will have, however, a wood line over here that is somewhat safe. While Ganji, on the other hand, we're going to see for the red player, he's got the main gold up towards the northeast, but he's already going for a walla that's going to allow him to secure not only the gold over there, but also, well, it's not really secure in this stone, but it's going to give him access to it. The other stone's going to be outside the walls. The other golds are going to be outside the walls over here on the left-hand side, and the other secondary gold is actually going to be part of the walls, right? So there we go, that's the map generation for both these guys. Genji's map is way better, it seems. I agree. I'm liking his map just because of the goal being much more, like much easier to protect, right? Capoch wouldn't really be able to go for the walls that Ganji has gone for, because if he wanted to go in front, if he wanted the wall in front of the goal, which to be fair, is at a comparable distance compared to Ganji's main goal to his own TC. But the difference is that Ganji has a much easier time walling this goal in. Capoch would have to go for very, very pricey walls over there instead. Does Ganji know about the dog? Yes, sir! He not only knows about it, he's countering it already! Damn! How many dogs do we have for the red player? He's got 2. Holy, and Capoch back home is only on 1, right? Yeah. Ganji has gotten 1 extra fish and ship. Capoch is going for a second dog over here. That's going to be very pricey for him to keep up with, of course. It's going to be up on 3 dogs. He's had to pay for 1 more. Ganji, on the other hand, he's already queuing the fire galleys, and he should be in a pretty good spot. He will be in a pretty good spot. Ganji has gotten some surprising results in TTL. Yes, for the most part, up until now, maybe not pleasantly surprising results, but this is certainly better than what I was expecting from here, because I really thought it was going to be favoring Capoch pretty heavily, but well, game number 1 has already proven me wrong, and that's the kind of series that I like the most, the series that I expect one thing and it turns out to be something completely different as well. Surprise is a good thing in Age of Empires, unless you are playing and a sneaky push comes in. But for watching and casting, it's actually very nice to have. He's been taking maps from players that are considered heavily favored. Yeah, I guess. Maybe even if he loses some of the sets, get some impressive games, right? He is yet to win one though, but this one is looking quite promising. He's got a sneaky dog coming up himself. Back home, he's got a crap ton of fire galleys to defend himself with as well. Here comes a demo and bang! 2 fire galleys down into the water. The shipwreck's gonna be explored a few hundred years down the road. But yeah, right now it's favoring Ganji still though. He's got zone demolition. That was not the best. That was not the most cost-effective demo, but he does end up cleaning the units up for the most part. There could be a demo coming out though. Oh, bang! That's another huge shot from Capoch, but it's not going to suffice though, and the villager should be going down, and she will. An extra fire galley is on the way for the bull player. Meanwhile, Ganji on the left-hand side. Demolition rat is here. So also gonna try to be sneaky himself. The castle age is coming out for both these players already. Wild fight in the water, this is just remarkable. Always boggles my mind to see these players being able to keep up with everything the way they do. Anyway. Eric's coming out for Ganji now. The villager could have killed the boat. Probably if the villager baited the boat over to the shoreline. I don't know if she would have had enough time to go back to the shoreline to take the boat down. But that would have been fun though, wouldn't it? Forging for Capoch? Why though? Yeah, he's got a second stable as a matter of fact, so it's going to be knights. Ah, knights against Lithuanians. Ganji is the first player to get to the castle age. He's going for a 4 siege workshop. Ideally, he would want to get a monastery up, actually. I would prefer actually the monastery right now over the siege workshop. Yeah, there we go, right? Because he's expecting to see units coming now that Capoch has gotten to the castle age. Knights or camels. We have the camels right now pouring in. The monastery is going to be much better suited for countering the camels and... Yeah, Ganji also will benefit enormously, tremendously from collecting the relics. So he's got one over here that's very close to the monasteries he's going for. There's one over here on the left-hand side that he's already aware of as he's built a house next to it. And then the other 3, it might not really matter that much. If he, once again, if he can just get 2, that is already so good for Lithuanians. That is going to put him in such a good spot. Now, Capoch does end up taking the dock down on the left-hand side, and Ganji does not have sneaky boats anymore. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we have the War Galley upgrade for Ganji. He will take the Fire Galleys down from Capoch. Even 25% faster attack is not going to suffice with the numbers that the players had over here. So Capoch will get pushed away from here, and it's going to transition into a full land war. Second TC is coming out for Capoch. Ganji. He's got monasteries working already, pumping monks. He's got the second monk coming out. Oh! And he's getting the conversions already. He's got Sanctity on the way. You know, Lithuanians, they get all the monastery upgrades. So he could potentially even go for Redemption and just try to snatch the stables himself, you know? That could be good. Right now, he's trying to prioritize the conversion, so he's keeping the monks at hand over trying to go after the relics. Because he knows that Capoch already has gone for units. He knows that he needs the monks over here. He knows he needs to prioritize the conversion. So we'll see another conversion coming in. Already he's converted 1. He's going to go for the second conversion. I think he's going to get it. He got it! And this monk still has faith to get another conversion. He's going for it. So now we're going to see another camel getting converted over there. And that's going to try to prevent it, but the conversion connects. And so far, every conversion attempt from Ganji has worked out pretty well. He gets yet another conversion over there, and that's gotta be frustrating for Capoch. His reaction was not fast enough to prevent the conversions, and he ended up losing so much value of his military over to Ganji's monks. And interestingly enough, despite the fact that Capoch has gotten the second TC up, because he's been trying to protect himself against the push from Ganji, he's been unable to take advantage of it. Right now, Capoch is not producing villagers. Capoch is not producing fishing ships. There we are. And we'll see instead. Yeah, just full aggression from Ganji, and Capoch kind of paralyzed. It would seem. Certainly, it's the image that we get. And once again, if Ganji could get Redemption, for instance, that put him in such a good spot. He already has a good amount of monks. If he plays his cards right over here, I don't think he needs too many more than this. Especially given the fact that we only have 1 stable, right, for Capoch to produce. Okay, he went for another stable over here, and the man doesn't have taken 1 extra monk down. But this is looking very much in favor of Ganji, and there's another stable coming up for Capoch. You really gotta feel for the Argentinian though. He's got Redemption. There we go. Yes, Ganji did go for Redemption. He was already forcing building the legions from Capoch. I miss when exactly he went for the upgrade, but he's got it already quite clearly, and he's going after the house, he's going to get it. He's just trying to pretty much house Capoch right now, trying to prevent him from being able to produce anything, right? And yeah, I honestly don't know what Capoch can go for over here. Like, surely light cavalry is the obvious answer to the monks, but between all the converted units that we have for Ganji over here, the camels, the spearmen, even light cavalry would struggle to take the monks down, because Ganji is in a fantastic position to defend himself with the converted units. This is probably the time that I would like for Ganji to go and try and start collecting the relics. I think he's got way more than enough monks. And he knows where the relics are, right? I think he should know about this one on the right hand side. He does. And he knows about this one down south as well. He even knows about this one on the left hand side. And we see the conversions coming in, the light cavalry are coming out, the units though that I said he should defend himself with were kind of out of position, but he still ends up surviving with the majority of the monks. I think only one went down over there. Two monks went down. Yeah, this game is... it's pretty over at this stage already. Ganji has managed to almost double Capoch in overall population. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the actual case in a moment once the villagers start going down and the TC crumbles as well. Capoch won't be able to produce much of anything really, and yeah, it seems like the game's pretty much over. Ganji is even gonna start contesting the water from Capoch. He had gotten pushed away before, but he was able to sneak a villager over here and get a dock up as well, so it doesn't seem like anything's going to go Capoch's way this game. Right, Ganji seems like he's got this one pretty much locked. He's got the eye of the tiger, and Capoch sees the writing on the wall over here. He is only waiting to call the GG for his last defense attempt. So he's got light cavalry right now. He's trying to go after the monks, but in the end, is it going to be enough though? Nice mango shot, and the spearmen are over there, and the monks are still going to survive. And the frustration levels for Capoch gotta be off the roof right now. It's gotta be through the roof, rather. Try to say off the charts. Switch over to through the roof mid-sentence. Has never happened to you? But yeah, second TC is going down for Capoch. It's gonna be left on only one over here, and yeah, 105, right? It's time for the Argentinian to walk to his destiny and just go next. 37 population versus 93. Soon we're gonna find ourselves in a position where Ganji is gonna have triple the population compared to Capoch, and you gotta know, right? If you're in the Argentinian's position, basically your opponent right now has as many military units roaming around your base as you have villagers almost. Yeah, and it's over. This is not good. 2K score lead. Population is over 3 times already, and Capoch calls the GG. Is not really happy about the way that went, quite clearly. And Ganji's going to end up getting the second game in the series. This way, Ganji guarantees to win the set no matter what. And for game number 3, he can only play for preventing Ganji from getting a clean series, right? And there we go, guys. We are in game number 3. Definitely for the first time. And Capoch is gonna play with Hindustanis, indeed. I was talking about the available civilizations. I was saying Hindustanis are probably his best shot at this map, right? From the civs that he had left. Meanwhile, Ganji, on the other hand, he's playing with Burgundians. Up in the north, Capoch in the blue color with the Hindustanis will get 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper villagers in the Dark Field Castle and Imperial Ages. We're gonna see for the Hindustanis also +1/+1 armor and gunpowder units. We see, in addition to that, for the Hindustanis, 25% faster attack on camel units. And for the team bonus, 2 bonus damage against buildings from camels, like cavalry and hussar. Ganji, playing with the Burgundians instead, will get access to eco upgrades 1 each earlier for a 40% foot discount. Now, that is absolutely amazing. One of the reasons Burgundians used to be considered an absolute top tier civilization and arena not too long ago, right now, probably displaced a little bit by the meta evolution and the Poles and Bohemians, the Turks taking the top spot, Britons. While, yeah, we have access to eco upgrades earlier, they will also get 25% extra attack or high attack on gunpowder units. They will have access to the Cavalier upgrade in the Castle Age, as well as a 50% discount on stable upgrades. And for the team bonus, Burgundians will have food income from relics in addition to gold income. Can you handle all the clown civilizations? I guess Hindus are always broken. I don't really like too much the civilizations that Capoch had left for 45 clearing over here, and yeah, I don't know. I think like Hindustanis are probably the best shot he's got at it, mainly because of the camels being so strong and getting, you know, pretty good. Actually, they don't get halberdier anymore, right? I think they only go up to pikemen now. When they were Indians, they had halberdier. Now I think it's only pikemen. So I'm not really sure anymore then. Maybe Khmer would have been better? Well, what good is it now to try and speculate about what could have been? If we just focus on the matchup that we have at hand, the Burgundians are clearly going to be a civilization that players would associate with Arena a lot more compared to Hindustanis, and for good reason. The eco upgrades available earlier are usually going to delay your early game in more open maps, right? But in Arena you're already protected, so you can just reap the benefits without having to worry about getting delayed to the Field Age or to the Castle Age or whatever. In the end, Ganji is going to have a stronger economy to work with by the time the players get to the Castle Age, and what Capoch is going to have is he's going to have the option to go for more villagers once the players get to the Castle Age for cheaper overall. And we'll see if he'll be able to make that suffice. I would imagine, by virtue of the Hindustanis not being a particularly popular arena civilization, that it's probably not going to be enough. But once again, we have talked about this many times. It's about the players, not the civs, so much. And maybe Capoch's got it in him to offset for the civilization lead over here, and we'll be able to take at the very least one game in the series. It's kind of rough for the Argentinian. He started the series, he started in the group stage over here, taking 2 series back to back. And today, we see him play 2 series in a single day, the 4th and 5th series. And it's not really going his way too much. Not only that, when we were just taking a look at the standings at the very beginning, I was saying, yeah, you know, Capoch's got pretty decent chances. I even went as far as to say almost guaranteed to remain in the Platinum League, and I don't know if that's the case anymore. We're gonna have to take a look at the standings after the series is over, but Ganji is certainly kind of a bump on the road that Capoch was probably not expecting. Certainly not a bump on the road that I was expecting. My prediction for this was 2-1 in favor of Capoch, potentially 3-0 in favor of Capoch, but as I was saying earlier, it's good that that was not the case, right? We want a good series, and it's always nice to see a surprise. Let's go, Ganji, Siege Tower, that greedy Burgundian. Jordan, show the way. We'll see, we'll see. Hold on. What do you mean, let's go Ganji? Siege tower, that greedy Burgundian. He is the Burgundians. He is gonna be the greedy Burgundian. He's been probably influenced by the games with Hera. Maybe, perhaps. What tiers do we have left for this group? While we wait for the players to get something done, while we wait for the players to get to the castle and whatnot, let me check. So this is group D, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is group C. This is group C. All right. So right now we have Capoch versus Ganji, and then we are going to have still Ganji versus Kingston left. Miguel versus Ganji, Jordan versus Kingstone, Hera versus Jordan, and Miguel versus Kingston. So we still have a few sets over here left to go. And as I was saying earlier, starting on the 30th, January 30th, we are going to have a little bit of an H marathon. We're going to be going live daily, casting TTL sets on the group stage to see who moves on to the playoffs. Here we go, Village is here for Capoch. Oh. Villager going down, though. Wow. No Lumor here for anyone, as is naturally going to be the case on an arena-like game. You tend to delay it so you can get as strong of an economy as humanly possible, as early as you can, of course. That's going to result in a villager loss for Ganji already, so something is going in favor of Capoch. Something that is not going in favor of Capoch, however, is the fact he's got a scout trapped inside Ganji's base with 2 HP, so he cannot even try and take a villager, right? Unless he was able to find a Hera snipe somewhere. Do we have a 1 HP villager somewhere here? Not really. Nope. 2 villagers from the boar luring from earlier are on, yeah, 23 HP combined. And it would take a few hits for sure for him to get any villagers down. And Capoch, wait a moment, why is Ganji? Oh, Genji's also 3 HP. Well, Capoch is 2 HP actually. Ganji, what is he waiting for? Well, he cannot send a villager, right? Because Capoch is just going to run. If he sends the scout, he's pretty much taking a 50-50 over there, over who's going to get the first hit. So it seems to me like Capoch is eventually going to break free. Alright, yeah, that's good. Let's see. Oh, good reaction. We have a fresh scout from Ganji. So yeah, Capoch is. There we go. I thought he'd go for all the eco greedy upgrades. Well, that's the way that it usually goes. Ganji is going for it right now as he gets to the castle age. That's pretty standard, but he's not gone for wheelbarrow, of course. He could go for it after he gets an extra TC up. Doesn't really have the resource though. He's going for a monastery instead. Yeah, this is standard. Don't worry about it. You get the upgrades as you're going up. Otherwise, it kind of delays your fast castle a little bit. Capoch got the second TC and the monastery. Already up. And Capoch seems to also be the only player with vision of the center. That might not be entirely accurate. Ganji did have the scout roaming around a lot longer earlier, so he also knows where the relics are, even if his vision is not quite as comprehensive as Capoch's. There we go. Yeah, Ganji's pushed away. Capoch's got a lot of extra light cavalry over here compared to Ganji. And the actual light cavalry count is the same for both players total. It's just that the units were kind of out of position from Ganji, so he couldn't take the engagement. Now Capoch's got all 5 light cavalry roaming around. It's gonna collect the relic over here, up in the north. That's going to be the second relic that he gets. He actually had collected 1 on the left-hand side already. So there are 3 relics up for grabs, and we see Ganji come out right now, and Capoch realized about the monks over here, but won't try and go after the units. Instead, they're just gonna try and bail. He's trying to get the conversions himself instead. Okay. So Ganji should be able to collect this one, right? And there we are. Two relics coming in for Ganji. The 5th one's gonna be out for grabs, and Capoch, he's out and about already with the monks going after the juicy relics. Final one left in the center. Is Light Cavalry versus Scouts? Can't tell. Maybe zoom in a little bit. It is Light Cavalry versus Light Cavalry. There we go, the conversions are coming in once again. It's gonna try and make it work. Can he make it work though? That's the question. And he won't! Both the monks go down immediately. Get completely deleted. But Light Cavalry, Ganji's gonna be the only one left with monks, but Capoch is going after the guys, and 1 priest down. Another monk goes down right away, and another one is about to go down as well. And everyone loses here. Nobody gets to save their monks. Capoch did end up losing all the light cavalry though when trying to get the monks down from Ganji. Ganji does have a good amount of light cavalry left still, so Capoch needs to keep on going for more. It's been pretty difficult. Capoch is ahead in work count right now by about 10 workers, by about 10 villagers. And it's only in the Castle Age that he got a 20% discount, right? So he was still paying more than what the difference over here is going to compensate for in terms of the discount. Or actually, he's trained more villagers than what the discount would have compensated for. So it's still going to be pricier for Capoch to get to this village count and get a comparable amount of light cavalry out. So it's clear he was going to struggle to keep up with the numbers. However, it's not too bad, right? Capoch has been able to catch up right now once again. 100 HP on 4 light cavalry. Oh, that is good though. Ganji did collect the relics from the right-hand side. That's fantastic. Yes. I noticed the relics earlier, but oh, or wait, is that Capoch? That is Capoch! He's collecting 1. Oh god, having to worry about this in Ganji's position when you're trying to fight with light cavalry is gonna be so stressful. But yeah, it seems like Ganji's going to collect the 1 on the left-hand side. Capoch is collecting 1 on the right-hand side. Ganji has collected 1 on the left-hand side, and yeah, he's collected this 1 on the right-hand side as well. So I think in the end it's going to be kind of like 5-4 in favor of Ganji. Yeah. So he collected this 1. 8. There are 9 relics total. If I got this correctly, I think it's going to be 5-4 in favor of Ganji. Let's bring 1 relic in. That's going to be the 4th. Then he's going to bring this one, right? Yeah, and I don't think any relics are left. Yeah, Alright. Relic War is over, comes to an end. Can he see that one? I would imagine he was coming in with a monk. Oh no, he cannot see it. I saw him send the monk over the right hand side. Maybe he's trying to find where the last one is, perhaps. Yeah, I think he's just sending the monks over the right hand side and he's quite convinced that it's somewhere over there. Oh, this is not good though. Ganji got spotted trying to go for the greediest walls that I have seen in my life. Capoch on the other hand though, he does not have vision of the relic, but he knows it's not on the right hand side because it's done a much better job scouting that area. In the end, it's gonna be 3 villages going down from Ganji, not quite. The quick wall's coming up over here though, and Capoch's gotta be frustrated at this. Couldn't get the quick walls up himself earlier, but now it seems like everybody else is able to do it. I'm really sure how much ping though there is from Sweden to what I imagine was probably US East. But yeah, Ganji's done a really good job over here. Jordan did a really good job earlier as well. What is preparing on the right hand side? See a lot of red over there. He was going for the walls originally, and this is just palisades around the bear. The villager goes down. Yeah. One villager crumbles from Capoch still though, significantly ahead, and the Imperial Age is gonna be here very, very shortly for both these players. He still cannot see the relic, right? No, he can't. Well, for the time being, it's gonna be 4-4. Eventually, you would imagine that it's going to be 5-4. He missed it by 1 tile, didn't he? I think it's probably more like 2, but it is very close though. Yes. Oh, the conversions though! They do not connect! But he does end up taking the light cavalry down, and the monks scramble. Yeah, it's by 2. It's really, really close. Unlucky. Now Ganji's sending a... He's done. He's fed up. He's sending a bunch of villagers over the left-hand side trying to get this up. So remember, he had access to the cavalry upgrade in the castle age. He went for it already. Now he's going to start making a play for Paladin. He's got pikemen on the way as well. So we're going to see squires, forging on the way, even chemistry, so he can start going for hand cannoneer. Hand cannoneer and bombard cannons, and this is gonna be extremely good for the Burgundians, because what is the Hindustanis player going to do? Hob of the year? Well, the hand cannoneer are going to take care of that. To fight against the paladin, he would need Imperial camels. Heavy camels would be good enough. Imperial camels would be fantastic, of course. But then Ganji was already making a play for Halberdier himself, so very soon we're gonna have that as well. And it seems like cavalry is not going to work for Capoch. He's gonna need to go for his own hand cannoneer. So he's got chemistry on the way. So begins the game of 5e chess. That is late game arena. Where all the options available are laid out in front of you, and you're gonna have to start making your choices. Kind of reminds me of what was the name of this one? Totally Accurate Battleground Simulator. Kind of like that. Nice, the villagers finished the walls. Here comes Capoch. He's got the hand cannoneer we were expecting to see, yes. But I don't see any halberdier. I don't see any camels. Meanwhile, Ganji, he's got bombard cannons on the way. He's got paladin coming up. Capoch. You know, the reason why we see usually this for the Hindustanis on an arena map hand cannoneer, pikemen, bombard cannons is because it's the army composition that makes the most sense. But Capoch is going for camels right now instead of pikemen, which means that Ganji is going to be the only player with pipeline units available. And if he can take care of the hand cannoneer over here, then the pikemen are going to be so good against camels. That's the crumbles from Ganji. We do have a lot of bombard cannons from the red player as well. He's trying to take on the trebuchet. He was trying to take on the trebuchet, not so much right now. And that is not a good engagement for Ganji though. He's trying to get a bunch of extra pikemen out, but he needs to take care of the hand cannoneer as well, so we'll see. Ones are coming over. Fortunately for Ganji, they are not particularly high attack, right? So only one bombard cannon goes down while the rest of the camels get taken down. And the hand cannoneer are still going to be exposed. We see the pikemen coming over already against the camels. The paladin going after the hand cannoneer over there. The camels are coming over though to the hand cannoneer. The Ganji is gonna have to play a little bit more safely here. A little bit safer. A little bit more cautiously. And Halberdier is coming out. This is what I wanted to see from Ganji. Capoch on the other hand though, he's getting Shatagni. Extra range on the hand cannoneers. Got it. So on paper, the hand cannoneer and the heavy camels are going to be perfect counters to what Ganji's got over here. We need something else from Ganji. The bombard cannons are instrumental. If he can reduce the hand cannoneer and actually make use of the halberdier, that's going to be the best, of course, for the red player. But let's take a look. There's a castle coming up. Ganji's going to sacrifice his entire army, though. This is not a good engagement for Ganji. He's gonna get completely cleaned up. What was that? He tried to split his army up and send one small group to get the raids going. The villagers got immediately garrisoned inside the castle, so Capoch is still going to have the majority of the villagers alive over here. And then the paladin, the halberdier, got completely flattened on the right hand. That was not good for Ganji at all. That is not the way to lure the camel into your halberdier to try and get the surround going against the hand cannoneer. Yeah, and this castle that Ganji sacrificed his army over is going down right away. We have 2 bombard cannons and 3 trebuchets. Run Capoch. Taking this down. He was forced into it. He tried to get the castle up. And it was not good. The castle's not really giving much of anything, and he does manage though to get the trebuchets down at the very least. Yeah, and reduce the military count of Capoch by quite a bit. Yeah, that is the thing. Ganji does have the bombard cannons over here. On paper, he could use bombard cannons to reduce the hand cannoneer so the halberdier are effective. And this is why we see halberdier, hand cannoneer, and bombard cannons as opposed to cavalry units. This is what the army composition looked like for Indians back in the day on Arena. And this is what the army composition usually looks like for cavalry heavy civilizations who do get access to halberdier, hand cannoneer, and bombard cannon, because it's going to be overall the better one. It was interesting to see the paladin approach from Ganji. It's not really worked out so far for the most part, and Capoch is adding some camels into the mix over here. Once again, I don't think that's necessary, but I guess the difference is that Capoch does not get access to halberdier with his civilization compared to Ganji, so he's kind of forced into using a different meat shield. Castle's bait, Ganji took down 5 trebuchets and 5 bombard cannons while Capoch tried to kill the castle. I do know the castle is bait. He also took a lot of losses himself trying to get the castle up in the first place. I'm actually not really sure who got the most cost-effective trade over there. It might have been Ganji in the end if it is indeed 10 siege weapons. But yeah, the approach to the castle was kind of rough. In the end, it does end up kind of working though. We have some hand cannoneer over here, but that's not going to be too many anymore. And the Habadi will clean out the camels. Still have extra camels coming out though, and the Habadi are being reduced still by the hand cannoneer, so it seems like the paladin will not hold on over here for much longer, and Capoch is able to neutralize Ganji's push. And the engagement over here was so even, both players go down to about the same population. That's coming up on the right? Yes. Gas came out for Capoch. I don't know if they will have enough population space though to go for anything other than just a center push. In the sense that right now Ganji's got 40 population left, Capoch's got 30. Let's say Capoch goes for like 20 units on the right hand side. It's going to allow Ganji to focus his push at the center and reduce Capoch's defenses. To be fair though, Capoch has already managed to get a good amount of this gold. So if he gets pushed away from here, it's not going to be anywhere near as tragic as it could have been. That amount of stone from Capoch? Yeah, I can go for extra castles. Can repair the ones that he's got as well. We'll see. Here we are. Right hand side. Oh! There is a castle coming up over here from Ganji, as Capoch was hoping to get a forward castle himself, so he won't be able to get the castle up. Yeah, and that's a beautiful defensive castle for Ganji. That should provide protection to the gold miners. That's good. Capoch, however, though, ignores the castle, goes straight through, and goes for a castle on the right hand side. Does this have enough range? Not quite, but it's going to force Ganji away anyway. Well, that's great. If Capoch can take the castle down here from Ganji and collect the gold himself, that's going to put him in a much better position very soon. Ganji will effectively run out of gold if he does not get access to that one. How much do we have left for the red player? Yeah, it's got just this one, right? These two tiles. If he runs out of this, 240 only though, and he does not get access to this one anymore, he won't be able to continue collecting gold at all. And that's going to give Capoch the oomph that he needs. Stronger economy. It's going down from Capoch though, it's gotta be careful. He manages to survive long enough for Ganji to effectively run out of resources. That's gonna put him in a good position. Once again though, the castle is not really ranging the goal, so Ganji will be able to still collect from it. That castle drop right there from Capoch alone, or the miss drop from Capoch, is so impactful. If he had gotten the castle up a little bit closer to the goal and would have been able to push Ganji away from it, Ganji would have effectively been completely out of gold already. He is out of the gold that he had over here, and this is the only gold that he's got access to. Come on, Capoch, I think he needs to go for at the very least a tower or something over there just so he can push the units away. Capoch himself, he's got access to this gold, though it's only one tile, it's about to run out, and then he's got access to this gold. Oh, but wait a moment! Capoch has actually eaten through his gold significantly quicker compared to Ganji. Okay, that is interesting. I thought Capoch actually was going to be the one left with a significant amount of gold if he had pushed Ganji away, but this is kind of surplus for Ganji, interestingly enough. So this changes things up vastly. Ganji being the only player with access to gold now will certainly make a big difference now. Capoch won't be able to go for more camels, won't be able to go for more hand cannoneer, bombard cannons, whatever. Ganji And he can go for whatever he wants for a little bit longer anyway. How much gold do we have left over here? 2,200, that's very good. Just researching fletching will do it. For Capoch, he doesn't have fletching. He needs sparking arrow and bracer as well. Yeah, if he got the upgrades, he does end up pushing the villagers away, but he's not going for it right now. He's just going for cooldown, which are not working. The game would have been completely different had the castle drop been just a few tiles closer. Once again, one of those situations, right? We already had a few of these during the series. One tile too far away. One gate open 1 second too long. The palisade not coming up on time. That kind of stuff. It's just amazing. There are just so many decisions to make. So many things to oversee in this game. It's ridiculous. Capoch dropped that last castle on the wall on the right and started like cavalry raiding. The distraction would have allowed him to BBC push in the middle. I don't know if he would have had enough population space to get a big push going at the center if he had invested the population space. Hey, there we go. He's got fledgling right now. Good. But yeah, if he had invested the population space into going for something like that. The button! The button though! Yes! Yes! Here comes Ganji with a full Flemish militia push! 7 bombard cannons, he's taking the castle down easily. And pushing further. This is great, this is how you want to play the Flemish push. You want to have siege to go with it. You cannot just go for Flemish militia. And Ganji's got the siege for it. He's going after the hand cannoneers. He's going to take these down. Meanwhile, Capoch's got some camels left over here. It's going to be the last couple of camels. Flemish militia do get bonus damage against cavalry units. As you can see, 6 against camels. He's going ham. He's going for extra villages as well, so he'll be able to bounce right back up. But at the very least, he's gonna try to. He's got only 11 food workers and 56 food. This should still be better for Ganji, right? He still has higher population compared to Capoch. And I can't believe my eyes! It seems like Ganji might end up getting a clean sweep against Capoch! All 3 games! Take a look at the TC, it's just getting melted! How many bombard cannons? 7 bombard cannons for Ganji. It's just not good for Capoch. He's getting completely wiped out. This Ganji's push over here blazes through Capoch's defenses. Student player here barrels through Capoch's soon-to-be former base. Yeah, 14 military units right now versus 123, and Ganji is bouncing right back up in economy as well. And you know, if Capoch was not too happy about the full monk push in game number 2, I can't imagine him being too happy about Flemish militia. But Ganji has certainly taken advantage of the resources that were available to him, to his civilization. And it's worked out really well. So Capoch goes on to call the GG over here, and Ganji will indeed end up taking the series with a clean 3-0 score against Capoch. And we'll analyze what that means for the standings in a moment. But first, let's go through the achievements. As for the final game, we'll see a better KD for Ganji, about 21 to 20. We're going to see for economy, a stronger economy for Capoch, collecting about 13,000 extra resources. Doesn't matter? Not at all. Not at all. And of course, a lot of the extra economy from Capoch came in the last few minutes, right? When Ganji effectively did not really have a working economy, but in the end, it does not really matter. It does not really matter. Ganji doesn't that take this one? 3-0. Let's go and analyze what the standings are looking like after this result. That was the 5th series from Capoch. By losing the last one, he's going to end on a 2-3 balance with 5 points. And Ganji has, yeah, gotten 3 additional points over here from the 3 games that he's won. And puts himself in the 4th spot. While Kingston and Miguel, they have 3 and 2 series left to go through to potentially get the 4th spot and just try to survive in the Platinum League. But I'll say for Kingston and Miguel, the chances of coming up 1st, 2nd, or 3rd are not the greatest. 3rd, maybe. 1st and 2nd,